Hey there, how you doing? My name is Richie and this is Bronx Brothers Motorcycles. On today's video we're going to be talking about preparations for a trip we're going to be making out to the Midwest. We're going to be heading out to Wisconsin, Illinois, Ohio, all those states out there. I guess as far as we're going to be going west is Wisconsin. So I'm going to be talking about all the preparations that I do to get my bike ready. So let's get with it. So in today's video we are going to be washing the bike, which I've done before. I have a video on that, but I'm going to show you guys how to professionally buff a bike. Now I think I've talked about this before, but it's worth repeating. If you have a bike that's 7-8 years old or older, even, by buffing the bike, you are especially Harley Davidsons are well known for having really good paint jobs. This bike here has a lot of metal flake, and one thing that video cameras don't do is pick up the metal flake really well. But when the sun hits this paint job, you can see the metal flake, and I'll tell you, this metal flake is actually gold with a red candy over it. So it depends how the sun hits it. It kind of has a gold hue about it. Right now you can tell that it's very dirty. There's a lot of bugs on it. So I'm gonna give it a really good cleaning, which I haven't done in a while, and then I am going to buff it. The few things that I need to do to get this bike ready for the trip is I need to do an oil change. I need to adjust the clutch. The clutch it comes out too quick. I mean, it comes out right there. Right there, the bike starts to move, and that's just too much. Yeah, it should have a little bit more play than it does. I can tell you right there. Anyhow, those are the things I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be buffing the paint, the tour pack. That's another job I'm doing. I have it in this position here because I have talked about this before on a previous video, but I'm going to be putting a camera right here, and my stereo that I have, the Sony XAV 7000, is equipped for a backup camera, and it's actually a matter of just touching my screen down here that I can see the rear view camera. This is the camera I'm going to be installing. It's pretty simple to do. I just have to drill a hole this size here and put that camera there, and that's going to go just like that. So that's, I also have a light bar, and I have all the hardware, and I'm going to be installing this light bar here. I would like some more light in the back. Right now we're going to give her a bath. I have to take the seat off because I need to run the wire. This is the cable for the backup camera, so I might as well do that now. Take the seat off and start washing the bike, and then start polishing it. This is not, I mean, it takes me 2 or 3 hours to detail wash the bike, so this is not something that is a quick wash. That doesn't exist in well, it does. Sometimes you give it a quick wash, but today is not that day. Today it's getting a detail, and yeah, I have to polish the engine with the Harley Davidson spray. There's quite a few things I need to do, so let's get with it. Okay, two things. I'm not gonna give you, because I have a video on how to detail wash a motorcycle, but two things I want to explain really quick before I start, for those of you who have not watched that video or have no intention of watching that video, is these are a must, okay, if you want your bike to look good for a long time. And to make your job easier right now is, you can see what jack I'm using, right? I can spin both wheels easily, not a problem. Okay, and my phone thinks I'm talking to her, and she's so nosy. And the back wheel is slightly off the ground as well. You can see there. So I can wash the wheels really well. I can inspect the brakes, I can inspect my belt. The bike is ready to go. The second tip and the must, well, we want to cover the filter, right? And I have a sock for that. I have a waterproof sock that I put on that when it rains. Let me show it to you real quick. This here thing, put it on there like so. Very simple. Okay, and that's gonna keep water off of the filter. So the other thing is 2-bucket system. If you don't know what that is, you just have to trust me, and I would like you to please write in the comments once you try the 2-bucket system what you found. Help others by writing in the comments, what was your discovery in using 2 buckets. And I'm going to explain what the 2-bucket system is. One bucket has the soap, the other bucket is to rinse your rag, your microfiber that you are using to wash your bike. So you dunk it in the soap, you wipe your bike certain areas, and then when you go for the redunk, you put it in the clear water first, not in the soapy water. You rinse it out in that clear water, and then you put it in the soapy water before you come back to the bike. Does that make sense? It's pretty simple, right? Soap the first time, and then after that always rinse, soap, rinse, soap. And tell me what you find. And one last bonus tip is, don't wash your bike in circles, okay? Lines only. You know what a starburst is, right? That's what you get when you do circles, okay? So straight lines on everything. And those are the tips. Well, here we are on day 2 of getting the bike ready. Yesterday was a success. I will say, yesterday I polished the paint really well, and I added some protectant. I'm not sure if you can see the metal flake on that thing, but it is popping all over the place. The bike is really clean. I am very happy with how it turned out. Let me open the door so we can get some more light in here. but it is really not until the sun hits it that this red metal flake does its thing. The bike came out very clean. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I think I worked about, I forgot what time it was, probably 1 in the afternoon, and I finished around 8:30. It took me a long time, as I previously stated to you guys that it was, and I'm still not done. Side is not, you can't really see this side as much as you can see the other side, but it is coming out fantastic. Now the other thing that one of the things that I did was I changed the battery on a long trip. Like I told you guys, on Sunday I hit that starter button and it did not want to turn on. It took a few attempts. Now I'm not sure if you guys can see it. I can clearly see it. This paint does not match that paint. This paint looks a little bit darker because the clear on this is not as clean as those. Take a look at that. I mean, that looks new. I'm really happy with how that turned out. I did a good polishing job. I have a new buffer, which is this thing, and I used various pads on it. Well, 2 pads, which is, that's the compound pad. There is a wool one, but I did not use that. That's too aggressive for what I have here. And then this is the polishing pad. You can tell, if you don't know about this kind of stuff, you can touch them, and that's how you know which is which. So there's a little bit more aggressive, so that's for the compound. Okay, and then you finish it off with the polishing pad. And compound, you use the buffer at low speeds, between 1, 2, maybe 3. And with this, you use it 3 and higher. Okay, but you can't go too high because you could burn the paint. But you gotta be, in all honesty, you have to be really aggressive and a big dummy to burn the paint. Like, you have to not be watching what you're doing, because if you're looking at the paint as you're doing it, you're gonna notice something different happen. So it's never happened to me. That's why I'm saying. And you know, I mean, in all my time, I've never ruined a paint job like that. So what we're going to be talking about today is I have a light bar that I'm going to be installing here, that I've had for some time. I had 3 of them. I think I gave 2 to my cousin and I kept one. I kept the chrome one. So, and I also ordered these lights here. This comes off and I put lights on there, and this is gonna light up for signal lights, and this is gonna light up for signal lights, running lights, as well as a brake light. So it's gonna work really cool. It's gonna give my bike the back end, the lights that I want. So I am not happy with this here. It's a little bit dated, and it actually has a little dent in it and a scratch. You probably can't tell from here, but I can tell, and it bothers me. As well as that cap. You know why I leave that cap? Because it's old school. You know, it's not my taste, but soon enough I'll change it. I do like the chrome, so that's where I'm at with that. Thinking of lowering this a little bit. I put it up that high at first so that I can use my phone to record, but it's not high enough, and I don't want to put it any higher. Everything there came out really nice and clean. I still have to put the lowers on the bike, and in the near future I want to put some 6-inch speakers there, 6.5-inch speakers. because this system, I believe, is 1,000 watts as it is. There's a bird out there, can you hear it? So I also did the spray on the engine, and it really wakes that black up from dull black to a nice black. And you can see my diamond cutting gives the engine some pop as well. All those fins makes it look nice. Let's say compared to this bike. This bike has a lot more chrome, but I think you can see what I'm saying with the fins. Those fins from afar have a little bit more pop to them. Diamond cut. The wheels came out very nice and clean. All the paint was polished, including the side covers, which previously were not, didn't come out as nice as this time. And let me show you what I used to protect the paint. Now this stuff, you have to read the instructions on this. You cannot just spray this stuff and do it how you think it goes. If you overuse this stuff, it creates a big mess. So you know, on these panels like this, I spray it once and then you rub it. You know, you have to rub it in and around, and I rub it in straight line. Then you let it dry for just a second, and then you buff it out with a dry rag. Comes out really good. And it's ceramic. And I've done ceramic coating. I've ceramic coated 2 vehicles. And let me tell you, that's a process and a half. And not something that I care to do. Even to a new car. I think that's the way to go with these new sprays and stuff. And then to maintain it, I use this stuff. This stuff is really good. Not cheap. I believe this is like 30 bucks, this bottle. But in between washes, I use this. It leaves a nice shine. You know, the main thing with these ceramic is that it doesn't let it doesn't let dust accumulate on the bike, or basically stick to the bike. So I got my work cut out. What am I doing here? We gotta put lowers on, but before I put those on, I have to change the oil so that the lowers are not in the way, because as you know where the filter is. If you guys don't know, there it is down there. So I have to do that. I have to check tire pressure before I put the bags back on. The rear tire pressure, because I checked the front already. The belt is good. Check that out already. Put the lowers. Connect the camera. And that's what this wire here is for. So this will run underneath the back seat to the end of the tour pack. And the camera is going to be right here, this lens, this, right? We already talked about that. I'm going to put that right there, and I'm going to be able to see that on my monitor. At any given time, I can just press the monitor button, and I will be able to see behind me. A lot easier than trying to look through my mirrors. What else? I'm going to put the bar goes here. I got to take these out. I take these out here. When the lights come in, I'll put those in there. So what I ordered was, I ordered a harness. They call it a quick disconnect harness from Custom Dynamics. Plugs in here. And it goes straight back to the tour pack. And once it goes to the tour pack, I will then figure out how I'm gonna connect it to these lights, which don't have plugs. But also I ordered some plugs from Amazon. So most likely what will happen is I will bring those plugs in from the harness and then snip them and add my own plugs, because the lights that I'm putting on, one of them is custom dynamics, which is this one, but this bar here cost over $300, and I have one that I paid like 30 bucks for. I'm gonna use mine. I bought them as a lot, and by that, if you don't know what that means, is I bought 3 of them at one time, and the guy gave me a really good price because he was having a closeout. He had, I can't remember how many he had. So the bike will now be lit up. Don't forget, it still has the tail lights, and it still has the saddlebag lights, the plate light, and now it's gonna have this plus that. So I'm gonna be well lit at night. I'm excited about that. I have to give this a polish. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna cut the holes in there, fit that part, and then I will scrub it down a little bit and then take these off. This is I mean, I ordered it specifically because I have others, as you can see, and I needed this small one. I have a real small one which is about that big, but it just goes round. It doesn't oscillate like that one. That one's a DA. So let me get busy here. The other thing I found out is these hinges on this tour pack, they are riveted in, and I don't want to mess with that. Well, as you can see, this is something that I need to be, you know, I don't want to be all hot, sticky, bothered, and so on and so forth. So this is something that I bring indoors right now. My wife is in her office, my daughter is working, so I have some time to do this with minimal interference, other than business calls that I get all day long, but that's okay, that's part of life. Okay, so I have the bar in there. I do have to make this last hole here just a little bit bigger. That is how you solve that problem. But I don't know, I've spent about an hour and a half on this thing, 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours, somewhere in there. It is pretty straight. That's pretty much it. Now it's just, I have to make holes for the wiring, and I don't want to do that until I get the harness, so I know what I'm doing inside. So for right now, I'm gonna be pulling this off, and my next job is polishing the tour pack. Okay, so here it is. I think it came out pretty good. Let's see. Yeah. I'm taking measurements as I'm looking. Everything looks good. There's a little bit more shade here, but I'm looking at this gap here and this gap here, and it looks good. And then also the top there and there, and again, it's more shaded on that area, so you have to take that into consideration. But rolling down the road, that's what you're looking at right there, and it's gonna look good. So once I hook up all the lights, I'm gonna be happy. And then on the side markers, it has a few lights here, and it's gonna have all of that. So, you know, this is the stuff of dreams, right? You start planning and putting it all together and hoping for a nice finished product. So once I buff that tour pack out, so, you know, for those of you that don't know, my motorcycle is the basic. It doesn't come with cruise control, it doesn't have ABS, it doesn't have speakers on the tour pack, and it doesn't have a light bar. That is the difference between my bike and the next bike up. So I have brought it up significantly by the stereo. Oh, the other thing it doesn't come with is lowers. I've purchased the color matching lowers. I put a way better stereo. You all know I souped up the engine. That is way better than any Ultra of this year. What else have I done? Did the seat, put bars on it, a lot of stuff, right? Wheels. So even though it didn't start life out as an Ultra, it is definitely, at this point, the only thing it would be missing is a cruise control and hand warmers. I'm gonna take the rack off. I'd rather take the rack off. I don't know if you can see what I see, but it looks fabulous. You can kind of see the difference between this, a little bit more hazy, and that looks brand new. I can see that gold metal flake just popping. So it is coming out really good. I'm not gonna bore you with the details. So that's all it takes right there, is two little dots, and it, you know, it goes rather quickly. I think I'm spending probably 2 minutes per panel. I mean, the paint looks fabulous. What I've done already looks really great. I'm really happy with the results. I currently have the machine on 2.5, and as I stated previously, you know, if you burn the paint is because you're not paying attention, because I have my super strength specs. I wear reading glasses for anything up close, and I put these on are my stronger reading glasses so that I can really see the paint. Like when I was, you know, 10 years old, I can see really well when my eyes were good. If anything is going on with the paint, I'm gonna see it because I'm paying attention. I'm not just running the machine and not looking at my results and what changes are taking place. And I think you noticed on the one video, one clip that I did was I do a diamond pattern. Hey there, ladies, gents, children of all ages. Well, the saga continues. I'm still here working on the bike. I'm gonna give you a quick update, and I am getting there. We are a few weeks away, a couple of weeks away from our trip. We're gonna ride out to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to the Harley Davidson museum, as I've already stated. But I want to share this with you. I'm working on the bike, and what I have is I have the tour pack mounted, and I purchased some lights for it. I'm going to show you right now what I purchased. I purchased these lights here. These are custom dynamic lights, LEDs, and where they go is they go down here. Okay, so that used to be a chrome piece, and I replaced it with those LED lights, and they're supposed to act, this is what was there before, they're supposed to act like signal lights as well as running lights. I also added the chrome bar at the end. Now this is a universal piece that's supposed to operate as running lights, signal lights, and a brake light. Signal, right? These run on, and when the signal light flashes, it'll flash on and off, and then this is a brake light. Okay, so you know, I thought that I did everything correctly. I'm having problems. The paint came out fantastic, fabulous. I mean, it came out beautiful. Again, video does not show the amount of metal flake and pearl that I can see, but I'm here to tell you it looks really magnificent. It looks really good. I also purchased a liner for in here, which I'll show you now. And that just drops in here. It actually has a few pieces of Velcro that you put in different spots. I'm able to use the pocket for the, it has the owner's manual, as well as I put the registration, license registration in there. Anyhow, I'm running the lights, and I'm having problems because I thought I plugged everything in the way it's supposed to be, and it's not working. Today is Sunday, and Custom Dynamics are very helpful when you call them up with problems, and they will help you with just about anything. One of the things I was hoping to find is a factory harness for this bike used on eBay. If I found a factory harness used by eBay, it would make my life so much easier, but I haven't been able to find one. Now, when I purchased the lights, the wiring comes up all the way to here, and yeah, you know, I thought it would work, but it doesn't. So I have to now wait until tomorrow to talk to Custom Dynamics, and like I said, they're very helpful. So I'm hoping that they're gonna walk me through this. If you're looking at this battery here, this is for the camera, for the backup camera that I told you I was gonna install, and I've installed it under there. It's right there, you can see it. Now the downside of it is that you do see some of the bottom of the tour pack, but that is the best spot that I found. I don't feel like drilling a hole in the tour pack. Now I would like your comments. Would you guys drill a hole in the tour pack? Because if the majority of you say yes, I'll go ahead and do it. That's not what I feel like doing. I don't know, I just don't think that's the way to go. So let me show you how it works though. Okay, so yesterday I had the camera working. I think the battery that I'm using, that little battery, is not working at the moment, so let's wait on that. But I wanted to show you what I found in looking for a harness for the tour pack. If anybody's interested in one of those, send me a message. I'll send you a decal. Okay, so looking for the wiring harness. This is what I find. I know I'm all over the place today, but bear with me here. I think you can see that. I hope it's not flickering. Can you see that? That's my motorcycle. I'm not selling tour packs. That's the color of my bike, Red Hot Sun Glow. That's my bike with another tour pack. That's my seat. I mean, that's my bike. Look at the air filter, look at the wheels. I know where I took that picture. I took it in what's called Pungo, Virginia. It's the countryside, not too far from here. When I first put the cam into this bike, I was taking it for a test ride. That's the tour pack up there. Think you can see it? It's crazy. Now this is the second time that I have found my bike on eBay. The first time was the sport bike, the ZX11. That bike there, about 10 years ago. I forgot what I was shopping for, and I punched that bike into eBay, into the search, and I forgot what I was looking for. Hand grips, you know, I don't remember what it was. It could have been anything. It could have been, you know, foot pegs. It could have been gas cap, right? Anyhow, I find this bike, and I thought I was hallucinating. I'm like, what the heck? That's my bike. Like, there's one of a kind paint job on that bike. There's no two like that, you know. Well, maybe there is now, because the Chinese probably, you know. But anyhow, they sold a decal, or decal, I guess is what you call it, of my bike. Like, they sold you all the decals of that bike. They had the different pictures that I had posted on a website called Bike Pics, and on that website you can find any bike, any year, and various models. I will give you an update and a final view of the bike before I go on the trip on my next video. You all take care. Watch out with the crazy people on the roads, and I will catch you on the next one. Adios.